Cedar Point just announced that Top Thrill Dragster will be closing forever. Forever as we know it. For those of you who don't know, Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point opened in 2003 as the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster. Standing at 420 feet tall and launching at 120 miles per hour, Cedar Fair deemed it the world's first strata coaster, or a coaster with a height or drop between 400 to 500 feet. Although wildly popular, the ride has been plagued with problems from the start. In its second season and in 2016, the cable accelerating the ride frayed, spraying riders with shards of metal and leaving several riders with cuts on their arms and face. Downtime was plentiful, as the ride has hundreds of finicky sensors, a relatively unreliable hydraulic launch system, and it goes down for weather and high wind all too often. It usually has a 50-50 shot if the ride is going to be open on a given day, and even if it is, it always broke down multiple times each day. Cedar Fair would essentially need an entire maintenance team just for this ride. Former CEO Dick Kinzel said that Dragster was the worst business decision he ever made. And last year in 2021, a freak accident occurred where a bracket flew off of the train coming into the brakes and struck a woman in the head waiting in the queue line. This seemed to be the last straw for the ride, as it was closed for the remainder of the 2021 season and the entirety of the 2022 season. Which brings us to today. As of September 6th, 2022, we finally got news of the future of Top Thrill Dragster via a tweet from Cedar Point this morning. We have an important update to share regarding our Top Thrill Dragster roller coaster. After 19 seasons in operation with 18 million riders experiencing the world's first strata coaster, Top Thrill Dragster, as you know it, is being retired. However, Cedar Point's legacy of ride innovation continues. Our team is hard at work creating a new and reimagined ride experience. We'll share more details and information at a later date. Just about everyone knew that Dragster would not reopen without some change made to the queue or launch system, so I don't think this is entirely unexpected. I also don't think that simply a new, less forceful launch is going to be enough to market or bring people back into the park, and possibly market this as a new, reimagined experience. Although Cedar Fair's relationship with Intamin is rocky, I think it's likely they work together on this project again. Think about it. No other coaster manufacturer has even come close to breaking the height record. And with how Cedar Fair is with their manufacturers, it is unlikely that any other manufacturer would give this refurbishment project a shot. Why would any other manufacturer in good standing want to risk their good relationship with Cedar Fair by taking this huge risk of this project? The only manufacturer that has experience with a project like Dragster is the manufacturer who built it themselves, Intamin. And Intamin has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain by tackling this project again. Cedar Fair has already been avoiding Intamin, so if they do a good job here, they might trust them to complete a project for them again in the future. The only other major intense launch coaster manufacturer there is S&S, and their air launches are just as problematic as the hydraulic launch, so I really don't see this happening. I think the best case scenario is that Dragster gets new trains, kind of like the ones on Pantheon and Velocicoaster, a new LSM launch that will improve reliability, and a modified, more complete layout. Maybe we could see them utilize a switch track and it launch backwards into a vertical spike, and then launch forward over the top hat again. Maybe it could have a full layout after the top hat and expand over where the old queue line was, or over near Corkscrew Plot. The possibilities are endless at this point, and we simply do not know enough about the specifics yet. What we do know, however, is how carefully the tweet is worded. There are a few keywords that I think are worth highlighting here, so let's bring the tweet back up here. The first is retired. If the ride was getting removed or dismantled entirely, they likely would have been used here instead. But the careful wording of retired, I think, means the ride experience will remain relatively the same, with some minor changes like a slightly longer layout and a new launch. I think this also means the ride might get a new name, or something like Dragster Reimagined or Revamped or something like that. The next keyword is innovation. This word just screams Intamin. They are by far the most innovative manufacturer and will likely be the ones to take on this project yet again. And a final focus is on the words new and reimagined ride experience. This to me is the main thing that screams that something in the layout will change. If they were simply going to give it new trains in an LSM launch, I don't think they'd use the words new and reimagined. They would have instead used words like classic and authentic ride experience. Before ending off the video, I do want to say that I think Cedar Fair has been handling the Dragster situation and the PR around the whole thing extremely well. They didn't make a hasty decision, it seems. They took the time to analyze the situation, and now they're making moves to seemingly improve the ride experience, safety, and reliability without dismantling the iconic coaster. The announcement came at an appropriate time, as it didn't overshadow the other 2023 announcements coming to Cedar Fair Parks too. I think Six Flags could learn a thing or two here. So those are my thoughts about the Dragster news. Now it's time to hear what you think. Is Cedar Point making the right decision? What kind of changes would you make to the ride? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, make sure to like and subscribe for more coaster content coming your way. This has been Evan from Coaster Evolution, and I'll see you guys next time.